I'm joined now by the Commissioner General of the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinians in the Middle East, UNRWA. Philippe Lazzarini, the organization you work with very closely, the United Nations World Food Program, has just been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. What's your reaction?
Well, I just learned the news, but it's a wonderful tribute to the work of World Food Program, but also to the work of the humanitarian partners. And as you know, UNRWA is working very closely with World Food Program in the Near East, in the occupied Palestinian territories, in Lebanon, in Jordan, and in Syria. And I'm very happy that this work has been recognized today.
Mr. Lazzarini, you took on your new post 6 months ago, facing a double crisis of unprecedented magnitude. First of all, the pandemic, and secondly, a drastic financial shortfall, not least due to the cutoff of U.S. contributions to your agency. What are you doing to ensure that you can maintain essential services to the 5.5 million vulnerable Palestinians who depend on you?
You're right, it's a daily challenge. We are confronted today by an unprecedented pandemic, and this pandemic is also triggering a pandemic of abject poverty among the Palestinian refugees, which means that expectations are rising from the Palestinian refugees for UNRWA to deliver at a time UNRWA is confronted to an unprecedented financial situation. This is one of the reasons why I'm here in Berlin today, to engage in-depth discussion with the German government, but I will do the same in other countries in order to secure financial resources in the longer term for the organization.
The World Health Organization is warning right now that a major outbreak of COVID in Gaza would have devastating consequences, especially since the health system there is so weak. Health is part of your mandate. What can you do to prevent such an outbreak?
Well, this is definitely a nightmare scenario. We have to focus on preventing the spread of the COVID. And I have to say that the UNRWA has shifted its way of doing business in order to ensure the delivery of health, education, and safety net services to the population. Today we have the first case of transmission in local transmission in Gaza. The health system is not adapted. We will have to redouble effort to prevent this nightmare scenario.
Some of the camps that your agency maintains have been around for 70 years. Critics say that your agency has become part of the problem rather than the solution by perpetuating unsustainable dependence. What do you say to that?
Well, number one, UNRWA is part of the solution. UNRWA is not perpetuating a solution, the situation. What's perpetuating the situation is the absence of a political solution. I do believe that investing in human development, investing in education of 500,000 girls and boys in the region, investing in health for 3.8 million Palestinian refugees in the region is a contribution to the human development and is conducive for future solutions. And we will make sure that the citizen of tomorrow be full, dignified citizen. And that's exactly what UNRWA is doing.
Saudi Arabia just this week donated an additional $25 million to your agency's relief efforts. At the same time, it recently agreed to normalize relations with Israel without linking that to establishment of a viable Palestinian state. Do you see any prospect that this new U.S.-sponsored agreement will actually change the situation of the Palestinian refugees you support?
UAE and Bahrain have normalized relations with Israel. Before coming to Berlin, I went indeed to Riyadh, with whom I have discussed about future support to Palestinian refugees, and I have been reassured that UNRWA will continue to be supported in the foreseeable future until the day there is a lasting and fair political solution which will also address the status of the Palestinian refugees.
But Mr. Lazzarini, are you really confident that your agency and its support efforts will ever become obsolete due to a viable solution for the Palestinians?
Well, per nature, we are a temporary organization. Unfortunately, this temporary has lasted, but this is also the expression of the absence of a political solution. I'm still confident that one day our organization will become useless, obsolete, and this will be the day there will be a lasting and fair political solution which will address, in fact, the status of the Palestinian refugees.
Thank you very much, Philippe Lazzarini, for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Thea.